Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday the 24th of May 2021. A new week is beginning. Our easy level puzzle, Sudoku puzzle, comes on Monday, so if you're a beginner, hold on a second. I know you're itching to go, but let's just see what's in the news. And there's one really hot topic that is across the news, across the globe really, and that is Belarus hijacking. I did that in air quotes, even though you can't see the air quotes. Hijacking of a Ryanair flight. They diverted it to Minsk and forced a journalist, by the name of Roman Protasevich, if I've said that correctly, to get off the plane. He's a known government critic of Lukashenko. And anyway, they diverted this Ryanair flight by claiming there was a bomb when there was no bomb, and they brought the airplane, landed the airplane, forced it to land, and as I say, removed this journalist. Well, this is a really dangerous and bold step by another authoritarian government. They just seem to be getting bolder and braver around the world in their acts. I hope that freedom-loving countries will denounce this very strongly, but not just denounce, take some kind of action. Now, of course, we don't want to, start wars or anything like that, but there needs to be proper, commensurate action taken. What is it that these people really care about? It's money and power. So, you need to you need to punish them in some way by removing some of their money or power in whichever way that's possible. I hope there's global consensus on this. This is a dangerous way forward. Okay. Fortunately for me, I don't have to sort it out myself. Always more difficult to find solutions than to point out problems. Okay. Right, now in today's Sudoku puzzle, welcome beginners. How do we go about taking up Sudoku, playing Sudoku? First of all, we clear our minds of any political problems or anything that I mentioned earlier. We can forget all that now because we have to focus on concentrating and on finding our logic patterns, because Sudoku is a game of logic and it's played like this. There are 9 squares in this row, and in this row there are 9 squares, and in the third row and the fourth row, etc. And you get right down to the bottom and you'll find there are 9 rows, each containing 9 squares. And if you look, there are numbers placed in some of these cells. We call them cells or squares. But you'll find that the number is placed only one time. That's because we are placing numbers 1 to 9 in each. So one number each, of course. We have the same situation with these columns coming down. So a 3 and a 9 we have already in this column. We have a 4 and a 1 and a 6 already in this column. It means that the 4 and the 1 and the 6 cannot appear again in this column. Okay, and then we have these boxes, blocks if you prefer, which are outlined, and they each have 9 squares, and we are going to fit numbers 1 to 9 in there as well. So we kind of use logic to find different patterns, etc. Now if you're just beginning, you're just at this easy level stage, well then the kind of logic that you need is fairly simple and straightforward. It's only when you get onto the really difficult puzzles that you need a more advanced kind of logic. So let's see how we begin. So let's look at this block up here. Right now, remember, we need to fill in numbers 1 to 9. We have 1, 2, 4, and 7. We don't yet have a 3 in this block, but we can see a 3 here. And remember, a number can appear in a row only one time, so the 3 cannot possibly go here, can it? And look over here, there's another 3, and you can see it kind of blocks along this row as well. So there's no 3 here, or here, or here, or here, and that leaves just one square. So guess what? The 3 has to go there because there's no room for it to go anywhere else. Okay, that's kind of how we play it. Look down here is the same kind of thing. So if you look, have a look at this square here and look at number 7, digit 7, and see if you can spot where 7 needs to go. Did you get it? Right, we can see 7 blocking along this row here, 7 blocking along this row here, and so there's only one square remaining, so the 7's got to go there because it can't go anywhere else. And that's how we play the game. Now, I don't look at these games before I come online and play them on the video, so I'm looking at it as fresh as you are, or maybe not quite as fresh. Maybe you've already tried it by downloading from the link, but I haven't tried it yet, so I have no idea just how easy or difficult it's going to be. So I'm looking around the board, in other words. Okay, so I can see that a 7 needs to go in this square here, and let's see if you can work it out. Okay, do you see the 7 in this column here, blocking up here? So no 7 here or here. 7 in this column here, blocking these two squares here, and the 7 in across this row blocks that square, so 7's got to appear in that square there. Six blocks up here, 6 blocks up here, and again there's just one square left in the box, so 6 has to fit there. Okay, I'm just looking around till numbers jump up at me. If you get to the stage where you can't really see anything very easily, you can start to count through the numbers, looking for any possibilities, okay? Which I'm likely to do in a moment, just to see if I'm missing anything, where numbers can possibly go. Just kind of count through in your head. Okay, and I guess I'm gonna start doing that now. Okay, so I've seen one. So there's a 3 blocking down here and a 3 blocking down here. So no 3 can appear in any of these 3 squares, and we don't have a 3 in this segment yet, so that's where the 3 goes. Now we take that 3 across this row here, and this 3 across this row here. So no 3 can appear in the top row or the bottom row of this particular box. And this 3 blocks that square from being a 3, and so it's got to appear there. There's 4 blocks down these 2 squares here, and there's only 1 square left, so we only needed that 1 4 to give us that particular 4 there. And we take that 4 back up. You know, once you've filled in a number, remember it's good to use that number to find other numbers. 4 blocking up here, 4 blocking up here, 4 across, 4 across. And so the top left square will also be a 4. Okay. I'm not rushing through it, of course, because you know, it's not a game that you really need to do in a great high speed unless you're trying to be competitive about it. And then if you're being competitive, I think you need to have played a few games first. So let's see, in this box here we don't yet have a 5. Can you see where the 5 goes? Check along this bottom chute. When we have 3 boxes in a row, we call it a chute. This 5 blocks these 2 squares here, this 5 blocks these 2 squares, and so a 5 must go there. Okay, now we're going to find numbers from here, this column, okay, and this time we're going to do something slightly different, but we are going to notice that there's a 4 here blocking across here, and there is a 4 right down here blocking this square here. So in this particular column, this 4 blocks here and this 4 blocks here, so there is only 1 square left in this column, and so the 4 has to fit here. Okay. Now that we've filled that in, we'll take that 4 and bring it back across, swing back if you like, swing across with this 4, and there's just one square left. That can be a 4, so that goes in there. Down in this bottom region now, this bottom segment now, this 4 blocks down here, and this 4 blocks across here, so that's got to be a 4 there, hasn't it? And we'll take this 4 and bring it back across, blocking these 2 squares, this 4 blocking this square, this 4 up here, down this column blocking this square, this 4 blocking this square. So in goes that 4, and that I believe is the last digit 4, so we don't have to worry about digit 4 anymore. Okay. So still looking along, seeing what looks useful. Sometimes it's a good idea when you have like a column like this with 2 numbers missing, or you have a box with 2 or 3 numbers missing like this. It's a good idea to see what they are. In fact, we'll look at this one first. So what do we have? We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So the missing numbers are 1 and 8. 1 and 8 need to fit here. And you can see that this one here stops that from being a 1. So in this block, that's got to be a 1. And that's got to be an 8 because there's only one number left. Okay. Excuse the background noise, by the way, there's some construction nearby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we have in this column. We don't yet have a 6. We have a 7 and an 8. So 6 and 9 are the missing numbers in this row, 6 and 9. But guess what? We have a 6 saying this is verboten. No 6 can go there. 6 has to go there. 9 has to go there. Okay. What was over here? 1. Do we have a 2? No, we don't. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 and 9 are the missing numbers from here and here. Now, this time it hasn't been fruitful because we don't have any intersecting 2s or 9s, so we can't tell which one is 2 and which one is 9 just yet. But that's okay, we'll come back to it later, and this is what you need to do in Sudoku. Check for things, and then if it's not found to be, if there's nothing useful, we'll just come back later. What's missing down here? 2, 8 and 9. Well, we can see the 9 blocks this square here, so a 9 will appear here or here, but we don't know which one yet. We can see an 8 blocking down here, meaning it will appear here or here, but we don't know where, and the 2 could be anywhere. So again, we won't worry about that too much. I've seen something more fruitful. This column here has only 2 numbers missing. We have a 1, but we don't have a 2, but immediately I can see that the 2 stops that square from being a 2. So that's got to be a 2 there, and we can count through and find the other missing number, and when we do, we'll see it's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we don't have a 9, so in goes the 9. Okay, now here's something I want you to think about slightly more advanced. No, actually don't need to do that. Sorry, I'll take that back. Let's just focus on doing it like this. Okay, 9 up this column, 9 up this column, and this 9 that we just filled in now blocking this square, these 2 squares, but this one in particular. So that means there's only 1 square left for a 9 to go. The 6 now blocks these 2 squares here, doesn't it? So there's only 1 square left where we can place a 6 in that box. Now this 1 stops that from being a 1, and we don't yet have a 1, so 1 goes there. And the last number in this box is 5. If you count through, you'll find we don't yet have a 5. Now missing from here, okay, are okay, so what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't yet have 5. We have 6, 7. We don't have 8 and 9. 5, 8 and 9 are missing. Okay, 5, 8 and 9 must go into these 3 squares here. But we can see that 5 means that that's blocked from being a 5, and 9 means that that's blocked from being a 9, and so there was only one other number, which is an 8. So we know that 8 must go there because it's not 5 and it's not 9, and there were only 3 missing numbers. This 8 we can bring down this column, this 8 bring down this column, and that leaves us with an 8 in that location there. Now we already said before 9 blocks this square here, so 9 has got to be here, and the last number here is a 2, and this 2 will block these two squares, giving us a 2 there. Okay. Missing numbers here now are 1 and 8, and this one blocks this square here, so that's a 1 there, and the last number in that block is an 8. We're going very well. Now look, there's a 1 square missing in this column, so that's what we should look for next, because we can definitely find it. If you've only got 1 square missing, you can always get it. 1, it's a 2. We don't have a 2, so let's fill in the 2 there. Now that we've got that 2, we can see that it blocks across this row here, and we see a 2 blocking this column. So blocked here and blocked here. Guess what? There's just 1 space to fill in a 2. Now we're reduced to only 1 empty square here, so we'll find it. 1, 2. We don't have a 3 yet, so that's got to be a 3. What's missing here? 5 and 8, but we can't tell which is which at the moment, so again we'll just leave it and come back later. We have 2 numbers missing here. What are they? We have 1. We don't have a 2 yet, but I can immediately see that 2 blocks this square here, so we know that 2 must go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 5 yet in this row, so that's got to be a 5. Okay, what else? Let's look at this column here. Okay, this is slightly better, I think. This column here, this number has to be a 2. Now, can you see why? Because this 2 blocks this square, or indeed this 2 also blocks this square, because remember, you can only have a number once in a block, so this 2 means that that can't be a 2 there. As it happens, we also have another intersecting 2 there. And this 2 blocks this square here, but we don't have a 2 in this column yet, so we do now. Now, missing numbers here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't yet have a 5, and we don't yet have a 6, we have 7, 8, 9. So 5 and 6 are missing in this column. But look, this 5 means that that can't be a 5 there, and again, indeed, look, this 5 blocks that square there. So that's got to be a 5, and that's got to be a 6. There's 1 number missing up here and in this row, and if you count through, you'll find it's a 7. Okay. Now I know I happen to see that the missing numbers are 1 and 8, but again, can't tell which is which, so we leave that area, leave that region, come and look somewhere else, which is what you need to do. Let's come back down here now. Now we have this 5, we can see that that square can't be a 5, but we don't have one in this segment here. We do now, and we count through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8 now. Okay. What else is missing now? Okay, so we have our 6 blocking along here, 6 blocking along here. So in this segment here, we can now find a 6. We have 2 numbers missing here. They are 1 and 3. Okay, but this 3 stops that from being a 3, so it must go there, and the 1 must go there. Now we have 1 blocking along these 2 squares, so 1 goes here. This 1 blocks this square up here from being a 1, so the 1 must go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's got to be an 8, hasn't it? Okay, this 8 stops that from being an 8. We don't yet have an 8 in this box, so that's an 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7 goes there. we have one number missing in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the last number, it's 9. So we can fill that in now. This 9 blocks that square from being a 9, so 9 goes here. And the last number in this block is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we don't yet have. 6, 7, 8, 9. We've completed that block there. Only 2 more numbers to get in the puzzle now. We've finished it. Missing numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we don't have, but look, 5 stops that square from being 5, so 5 goes there. 6. Do we have a 7? No, we don't. Are there any intersecting 7s? Have we made any mistakes? No, we haven't, so it goes in there. And that's our easy Sudoku game for beginners, and I hope you have learned how to play the basic idea of the game, and I hope it was reasonably fun. It's a great game, very satisfying, played up to very high levels of some levels which I find personally impossible. So it's a great thing to take up and play and enjoy. Keep yourselves mentally alert as well. Thank you. Please subscribe to this channel and subscribe to all Sudoku channels, and I hope to see you again for a slightly more difficult puzzle tomorrow, but not much more difficult. So if this was about your level, good, come back again tomorrow and you'll see something else which will be perfect for you. Thank you. Bye bye.